breaking the news, taking on the fights. Iceman's in charge, the truth at the core. Holster up, free bird and box, ready for more. Tune in, long gone, feel the thrill. Uncensored and real, it's the realest of wheels. Motor Cop Chronicles, turn it up loud. The fun never ends, we're drawing a crowd. In your face, raw, unapologetically free. The funniest long talk, just come ride with me. Laughter ignites, unfiltered we chat about wrongs and rights. Criminal tales with a twist of the funny. In the chaos of badges, we take the money. The midweek madness, we own the scene. With the wit of the wise, we reign supreme. Motor Cop Chronicles, turn it up loud. The fun never ends, we're drawing a crowd. In your face, raw, unapologetically free. The funniest long talk, just come ride with me. Cop Chronicles, turn it up loud. The fun never ends, we're drawing a crowd. In your face, raw, unapologetically free. The funniest long talk, just come ride with me. Come ride with gear, let's hit the ground running. With the Motor Cop Chronicles, the laughter's just starting.
Copyright disclaimer. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, allowance is made for fair use, for purposes such as criticism, commenting, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. This site is for educational purposes only.
All right, listen up. Before we begin this masterpiece, we're all current or former law enforcement officers. We've seen our share of humanity. But if you came here thinking we give a shit about your feelings, you are sadly mistaken. So if you're a snowflake, we'll give you just a minute to turn this mother off, all right? Now, for the non-pussified. This is the midweek news show of the Motor Cop Chronicles podcast. The only place where you'll find unfiltered, unedited, and raw discussions about law enforcement, crime, and everything in between. We love discussing the good, the bad, and the downright bizarre stories involving cops and criminals. So get ready for some raw comedy blended with our unapologetic opinions. We're diving deep into the headlines, breaking down the latest news about our brothers and sisters in blue and the criminals they deal with. You'll be laughing 1 minute and shaking your head the next. It's funny and maddening, all at the same time. Just like the world of law enforcement. This is the midweek news show of the Motor Cop Chronicles podcast. And here are your hosts, the Iceman, with co-hosts Holstera and Freebird.
Welcome, everybody. William Freebird is not here tonight. He had a fuzzy hat meeting. Polstera's not even here tonight. He had to work overtime. He got tasked with a 16-hour shift at work. So y'all are stuck just with me tonight. So that don't happen too often on these. Maybe only the second time ever. So welcome to Wednesday night. Hope everybody's doing good. Look, I see them. Yeah, right there. I went to the dermatologist and had some spots burn off, and they look worse right now. Hello, Kelly. Stacy's here. James, yes, I am solo. We're just going to jump into it, though. If anybody wants any merchandise, like my Alligator Alcatraz shirt I got on, you can go to Etsy store, Motor Cop Chronicles Etsy store, and click on it and get your merchandise there. There is no more filter, Kelly. I started out the new year filter free. Just tired of using it. Wanted to be me finally. So there it is. I don't have to put that in anymore. What, the filter or what? I don't understand what you're saying. If anybody wants any extra episodes of the podcast, pictures, videos, all that stuff, you can join the Patreon. Check it out. If not, I understand. Times are still tough. We do have CHP Road Dog, a full crew member, Stacy McClendon, I'll hang around, Miss Kelly Meyer, Jared Nitrous, Motor Cop for Life, Mr. William Gbo, Dan Carlson with Burley Boards. Y'all go check out the handmade cutting boards he makes. They're great for all kind of stuff. Mr. Hoppy Hopperson, our favorite truck driver, Blake Walker, JJ, our favorite girl from down under, and Natasha A is back with us also. So I appreciate every one of y'all. Sorry I was laughing. I was reading Roy P's thing. Says you don't look like the guy I would visit. Well, good, because you're a stalker, Roy. We're going to jump in our Roy Corners real fast. Roy S. did send us something in, so let's see what Roy is going to teach us this week.
Welcome to Roy's Did You Know Corner, where Roy will let us know something that is totally useless, and we will have information living in our minds, rent-free for no good reason at all. So shut the fuck up and listen to what Roy has to tell us. Did you know that women of all ages are more likely to survive in times of crisis? A study of the last 250 years shows that women have longer lifespans during famine or disease epidemics, and female survival rates are especially higher during infancy. Now you know, and you are smarter for it. Roy S. out.
See, well, women are more resilient than men, which we kind of probably figured that. Yes, Christine, was actually I did it New Year's Eve night on that show. I went filter free, but most of y'all wasn't in here. Now I know why, because it was a holiday. But I did go on live New Year's Eve night. Stalker and a hater. Yes, that is Roy P. Roy P, let's see what he's got in store for us. We do remember his date from last week. Well, y'all wasn't here, but this who was picked for him. This lovely young lady right here. She looks very she's a kissing bandit. She was arrested for failure to appear, I believe. Don't know what's up with the Band-Aid, but he did go on a date. He did go on a date with her. So let's see how it went. He called in, left us a message.
The Motor Cop crew called me like they always do, way too cheerful for people who were about to ruin my evening. Hey, Roy, you busy? That's never a good sign. Turns out I was bonding out a woman for failure to appear, which honestly tracks because when she finally appeared, she did it like she was late to a kiss contest. She stepped out, looked straight at me, and immediately hit me with the face. Lips puckered, chin tilted, eyes half-lidded like she'd been practicing in the mirror. And right there, front and center, was a little bandage on her chin, just hanging on for dear life like it had seen things. I should have walked away. Instead, I introduced myself. She leaned in close, way too close for someone I'd met 30 seconds earlier, and said, "You my bondsman?" I nodded. She smiled, that kissing face already loaded, and said, "Good, I don't like waiting." Yeah, the failure to appear made perfect sense now. We grabbed drinks, and every time she talked, she leaned closer like the words couldn't travel unless her lips were within striking distance. I tried to focus on her eyes, but those lips kept doing push-ups. Meanwhile, the bandage on her chin crinkled every time she smiled like it was filing a formal complaint. I finally asked about it. She waved it off. Courthouse stairs. That was it. No details, no timeline, just stairs. I decided not to dig. Last thing I needed was another story involving gravity and poor decisions. By the second drink, she was tracing my arm, calling me Mr. Roy, and telling me how she hates missing court, but loves a man who handles business. Then she leaned in, lips already locked and loaded, and whispered, "You gonna kiss me, or are you still running background checks?" The kiss was confident, aggressive, and just reckless enough to make me forget I'd literally met her in jail an hour earlier. When we pulled apart, that bandage had shifted a little, like it almost gave up. She laughed, fixed it, and said, "Told you I don't miss twice." I walked her to her car later. She blew me one last exaggerated kiss, full pucker, chin bandage flapping in the breeze, and said, "Don't be a stranger." I smiled, waited until she drove off, then immediately texted the motor cop crew. Next time she fails to appear, I'm failing to answer.
Well, seems like Roy might have missed the chance to get a little lucky. He's kind of got a little tongue action there, though, didn't he? Williams said he was a little toasted last show. That's why he wasn't here. So let's see who we got in store for this week for Roy P. They're number one right here. This young, lovely young lady with full lips. She was arrested for aggravated assault with a weapon. Number two, right here. She was arrested for burglary, domestic violence, and interference of custody of a minor by an incapable person. Not sure what that means. Is she incompetent or an incompetent person? So, taking it she's incompetent to watch a child. This last one right here with her little nose septum ring, she was arrested for domestic violence and property damage. So who do y'all want to vote for? Number one, number two, or number three? Me personally, I'm going for number two. I want Roy to go out with somebody that is incompetent to even just watch a kid. So who do y'all vote for? Stacy says that he took her out and simultaneously brought her back to his place. Roy's voting for number two. Roy voted for number two for himself. He wants to go out with an incompetent person. So, by the rest of y'all, Kelly's voting for number two. Two's on the run right now. At least I say first two are attractive. The third one, not so much. Septum ring is just kind of like, well, we know which way she voted, don't we? That's all we got. So it's looking like it's going to be number two, Roy. Like number two, the incompetent female. James says number two also. So we got 4 or 5 for number two. So pretty sure she's going to be the winner chicken dinner right here. Y'all come back next Wednesday and we'll find out how that date went. Stacy says number two, even though she's too pretty to be interested. We didn't say she had to be interested. I mean, he can still bond her out. We know how most of his dates go anyway, so he's not likely to get lucky anyway, unless it's with that one-eyed chick or something like that. Beth Bryant says number two as well. Yep, that's it. Number two. You'll have to come back next Wednesday. Find out how it is to go out with Roy going out with an incompetent jailhouse female. I'm pretty sure that'll be interesting. Our first story we're going to jump into is the news that just hit. Unless you're under a rock or not paying attention, you should realize that an ICE agent got involved in a shooting event. They shot and a lady died that was in a vehicle, sounding like she attempted to run over him or something like that. And she is no longer here, so we're going to jump into that video first.
One person was killed in that gunfire, two
Not
were
that
injured.
one.
Law enforcement.
Yeah, we know that the call was made maybe about 10 o'clock this morning, so just about 3 hours or so ago. In that press conference, we did get some more information about this woman who was, we know, at this point shot and killed by ICE agents. We have learned that she is a 37-year-old white woman. She appeared to be in the vehicle alone.
Why does that matter? Why? Her being white, black, brown, purple, green, why does it matter? I don't understand that. Why does it matter? All that matters is that law enforcement person was involved in a shooting with a female. Why does it matter? So, all right.
Is what the police chief said, but the spouse has made it to the hospital. But we probably should take you back just a little bit about just some of the chain of events that have happened now that we have some of that information confirmed.
And interestingly, we really still haven't learned what the initial call was, why ICE was there in the first place, who they may have been looking for. But we know that while ICE agents were there, according to Mayor Fry,
they were probably looking for illegal aliens, illegal immigrants, whatever you want to freaking call them. Why does it matter? Why? I'm sure that's why they were there, out doing their job.
there were about a dozen or so plus agents there, and that, you know, we've seen there's some video out there. We're actually going to be showing it to you here shortly, so you can see for yourself. But in the course of you know, of them looking for somebody, people started to gather, crowd started to gather. More law enforcement shows up, and I'm not exactly sure at what point the incident happened with the woman in the vehicle, but we know that there was a woman in the vehicle, and according to again, you'll see the video for yourself and you can kind of watch. There are two narratives here. One from the Trump administration, which we'll read to you in a second, and then one we just heard from local law enforcement. Okay, and Ryan's telling me that we are actually ready to show the video. So before we layer too much context here, why don't we just let you watch this? But we're going to do this in a very sort of deliberate way. Let people know that this is video we're showing for the first time. You're not going to see it a lot on our air because we want to make sure that when we're showing it, we're doing it with a purpose. So there's no audio here as well.
Christy had a good interview tonight. That's good. Anyway, we're going to start watching the video of what transpired.
You can see the vehicle there. That's law enforcement pulling up in the pickup.
And it is the Honda Pilot that we should be focused on here. It's about a purplish, reddish color here. So let's take a look.
Agent walking up. And then there's another agent. I don't know if you can see that one right there.
It's hard to see it, but if you look right here, this agent is reaching in there to shut the vehicle off. She puts it in drive, starts going forward. It's hard to see if you look right here. You see right here, that is another agent that is in front of the vehicle. And when she gives it to gas and starts going, she's about to run. She's going right at him to run him over. He is the one that fired the shot straight into. From what I understand, I think she got like shot in the face or something.
Walking up. And then there's another agent. I don't know if you can see that one right there.
Three agents involved. One was kind of closer to the front of the vehicle. The other kind of pulled on that driver's side door handle there.
So again, there's no audio here. We don't know what's being said. We don't know really anything else about this woman, other than we know that she was not the target of the initial investigation. That was confirmed by the police chief. But there are some other angles of this as well that are being looked at. So that's kind of
Also saw right before we went on air that President Trump put out a tweet or something like that saying, I think the ICE agent that was in front, or one of these ICE agents that ended up in the hospital with some slight injuries, nothing life-threatening, but
One pass of the video, and again,
If you watch coming up here, you'll see like blood and shit on the ground.
Right. Okay. Thanks for letting us know. Sorry. So there is some audio to this, and if you go online, you can see. So now you can see the vehicle is crashed.
Yep.
And according to law enforcement here in the Twin Cities, that woman was shot, and then the vehicle drove into the snow there, as you can see. So this is kind of the aftermath right now. This video is turning.
No,
we want to just show you.
It's a good shoot.
What's happening? We didn't have a lot on the front end of this, and every time we show.
And
Did you see her right there watching the snow?
But this is what we have, so we wanted to show it to you in full.
And this is also the first time that we are seeing this as well. So we're kind of just watching this together along with you. But as you can see there, you see all these houses and these homes along Portland Avenue. We know that this is a residential area. So again, we don't know much about this woman, just that she's 37 years old. We don't know if she was an observer, because that's the thing too. So a lot of these
observers don't try to run over the law enforcement. I'm sure she was there. She's one of them she's probably a protester, one of these agitators or something like that. And you can see she accelerated with the cop in front of her. You get shot when that shit happens. From what I'm hearing right now, that's self-defense. You know, just like what James said. You fuck around and find out. Well, unfortunately, she found out and didn't survive the scenario. But she shouldn't have done that. And these people, these protesters, they're constantly throwing stuff. They're always doing stuff to these agents. These agents have every right to defend themselves. And this is what happens. Stay out of their way. Let them do their job. You're not stopping them from doing their job. Y'all are a bunch of liberal dumbasses. They're still grabbing these illegals up and stuff like that. All you're doing is putting yourself in harm's way and making it possibly one of them can get hurt also. So from what I'm hearing so far is that it's been declared a good shoot from the government anyway. This is just other video. Now I went and watched some other video. Here we go.
On for just 1 second. Now that people have a little traction here, let's kind of watch this, and we'll let you just watch.
I think it might have been that one over here that was inside the vehicle a bit. 'Cause if you look, it kind of limps after she drives off. The one that was trying to shut the vehicle off.
Now that people have a little traction
this guy
here,
right
let's
here.
kind of watch this.
Watch it afterwards.
And we'll let you just watch.
No, that one just hurt himself jumping off something. I don't know. One of them, it maybe it's him in the hospital. I don't know.
Yeah, and you saw the shot fired there by the officer on the left-hand side of your screen. Let's read through the statement that the Trump administration had put out just a short time ago. I believe we have that up if we want to take that. Today, ICE officers in Minneapolis were conducting targeted operations when rioters began blocking ICE officers, and one of these violent rioters weaponized her vehicle, attempting to run over our law enforcement officers in an attempt to kill them, an act of domestic terrorism. An ICE officer, fearing for his life, the lives of his fellow law enforcement, and the safety of the public, fired defensive shots. He used his training and safety.
Anyway, you heard that. Looks like a clean sheet to me. Of course, the governor, I think the mayor of this of Minneapolis came out and he's bitching, he's cussing, no, these ICEs need to get their asses out of here, blah, 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 blah. Dumbass. We wouldn't be in such bad situations if it wasn't stupid fucks like you that are helping the illegals. They're doing their job. To me, these mayors and these governors that want to have these sanctuary cities and they keep letting when they do get arrested, they just let them out and stuff. They should be charged for violating federal law. These politicians ought to be charged for violating the federal law. That's my opinion. So he can go screw himself. Hello, Shield Within Podcast. Oh, the Trump derangement syndrome is running rampant. especially since they went and captured that Venezuela president and stuff like that. Roy Peters says, listen to how loaded news idiots are talking. They were told to dramatize the video as much. Oh yeah, and that's a Fox channel too. And they're like, it's like, I think pretty sure one of them news reporters rolled her eyes when she said the Trump administration put out a statement. Oh yeah, exactly. Kelly says the Minneapolis mayor was trying to make her look like the victim. Yeah, instead of the cop that almost got ran over, right? So clean shoot, my opinion. Y'all can draw your own. If they do start rioting, which I doubt they do it, because she was a white woman. But that this situation kind of throws that whole white privilege thing out the window, right? Where was the privilege at there? Nope. Don't matter what color you are. You try to run over a police officer or a federal agent, they will shoot you. That's what happens. We don't care what color you are. Don't try to kill us and we won't kill you. Period. This next one, we are going to Connecticut. And we're going to talk about a police chief. And I got a few of stories involving police officers that aren't good.
Thanks for joining us here on a Monday night at 11. I'm Mark Zinney. We start with this major breaking news now from New Haven. Police Chief Carl Jacobson finding himself on the other side of the law. He's under investigation after admitting he stole city funds for personal use. Channel 3's Amanda Callahan, your reporter right now, live from police headquarters with more on what she's learning tonight about the investigation. Amanda?
Mark, it's still early.
All right, the police chief stealing funds for his personal use. I looked it up. This man's salary is $134,000 a year, and he's stealing money.
As this all unfolded today, the mayor said that Chief Jacobson was confronted in his office this morning by the 3 assistant police chiefs. That's where he admitted to them to stealing money from a fund that's used to pay confidential informants. Shortly after that, he submitted his paperwork to retire. New Haven's former police chief Carl Jacobson is in hot water.
When an individual engages in inappropriate or illegal activity and breaks the public's trust, we act immediately and accordingly.
City leaders say Jacobson admitted to ranking officers he stole money from the Confidential Informants Fund for personal use. It's city money used to pay people that provide the police department with confidential and important information that helps solve crimes. Mayor Justin Elicker says this was not just a shock to him, but to the department and city as a whole.
It's deeply troubling news to hear the police chief misuse public funds.
They reported this young guy, they appointed him chief. Some of his underlings turned him in, and then he admitted to it, and he admitted to it when they questioned him. My thing is, like I said, I went and looked it up. He makes about $134,000 a year. He was stealing money they were using to pay off informants. Did he have? I don't know. Maybe does this guy have a drinking problem, a gambling problem? None of it's an excuse for stealing the money from it. It's like, and you're the highest paid person in the police department, and you're stealing the money. I wonder how much other stuff he stole that he ain't got caught for yet, or they haven't found out. I'm curious to see. Then he just resigned. They haven't arrested or charged him yet. He resigned. He retired. I do believe if he gets convicted, though, he'll lose his retirement, his pension. No, he didn't inform on himself. Some other people right underneath him, I guess, noticed his money missing. When they started questioning him about it, he admitted to stealing the money. He's a whole chief, and he's stealing the money. Like I said, I guarantee this wasn't his first time doing something like that. This next one is about a woman, and I think this is Austin Police Department. She's suing the city, and this guy's a former police officer. This one just popped up, and I saw it and thought it was interesting. And we'll
here on a Monday night at 11, I'm Mark Zinney. We start with this major breaking news now.
On December 7th, 2024, Natalie Gielenis was outside.
And you see this lady, she's a beautiful woman. I understand, I think, I don't know, They were trying to, something with her being drunk in public or something like that. It's a misdemeanor. It's really not that big of a deal. Well, in Louisiana, it's not, especially around Mardi Gras stuff. Everybody's freaking drunk in public around here with that. So, sounds like from the news story that this young lady, I guess the police were trying to arrest her or something, and she dropped her driver's license or ID. She bent down to pick it up or something. I don't know if this cop thought she was trying to get away or resist or whatever. Well, he takes her down to the ground, which sounds like extremely, aggressively. And she ends up hitting her head on the concrete or something and causing a traumatic brain injury.
Her hotel, the Marriott on Cesar Chavez. According to the lawsuit, she was arrested for public intoxication and handcuffed. As she was walking, her ID fell out of her pocket. She tried to pick it up, but APD officer Joseph Spies threw her to the ground. Her head hit the ground.
Now, it sounds like she was already handcuffed when this happened. Okay? So, if he grabbed her and did that, she couldn't even try to break her own fall.
Causing a traumatic brain injury. Her attorney, Jeff Edwards, says she will have cognitive issues for the rest of her life.
She was 5'6", 128 pounds. I could knock her over with my pinky finger. And this police officer engaged in a violent takedown, and then as he was walking her to her car, slammed her head in there and further hurt her. It's despicable conduct.
In the officer's written report, he says it was a, quote, controlled takedown.
The officer then misled and omitted key facts in what we contend is a purposeful goal of obfuscating justice, of hiding the truth.
In a disciplinary memo from last month, Chief Lisa Davis says the way Spies reacted, quote, does not reflect an acceptable response from an 11-year veteran APD officer. He was indefinitely suspended. The Austin Police Association explained part of the process.
This is based on the meet and confer agreement. An officer, if they are given a suspension of greater than 15 days, they have to accept it. It has to be an agreed upon suspension. So he was offered a 20-day suspension, but when you have to agree to it, that means you waive your right to arbitration.
Now you hear that, right? He wasn't getting fired. They were going to give him a 20-day suspension. He did not agree to the 20-day suspension. So, see, he's on indefinite leave right now. But, see, this is a police department, so they have a union. So he's going to fight the 20-day suspension. He didn't even get fired for this. He was just getting suspended.
Arbitration. And Officer Spies didn't want to waive his right to arbitration.
That process could take months. The union hasn't reviewed the lawsuit yet, but that doesn't change the arbitration process for discipline. The city sent the following response. The city has not yet been served with this lawsuit, but will review it and respond appropriately. The lawsuit also goes through other instances of excessive force from the police department.
The chief of police has said this officer should not be an officer. So, I do have to pay Chief Davis a compliment in that, in this instance, she's done part of her job. But the harder part is explaining to, the supervisors, the police union, everybody, this is not.
I hope I can find out what happens down the road with this. This guy gets reinstated, fired or not. It don't matter if people get mouthy with you all the time. Being in law enforcement, you have to learn how to control your emotions. This ain't personal. People are going to call you names, cuss you out, talk about your mama, talk about your wife, talk about your sister, all that stuff like that. It's not personal. You can't take it personal. Let it go. But you're right. She probably said something that pissed him off. Maybe she was being mouthy. Maybe she called him an ugly fat bastard or something like that. Well, was he? I don't know. Maybe she talked about his penis size. Say what? All women talk about people's penis size when they get mad. Except for Stacy. She just sent everybody pictures of Roy's and we all laughed about it. I'm just joking. She didn't have a picture of it. Roy sent it to us all by himself. Anyway, I'm curious, so I'm going to try to keep up with that one. Or if any of y'all end up getting able to keep up with it, let me know. I'm curious to see if this dude's going to keep his job or not. This next one, another cop doing this one. I don't know why he did it. It sounds like he might have been having a mental problem or something, but where'd I put it? We found it. This guy, I don't know if he was admitted to the hospital. He was in the hospital already. And it sounds like he had some kind of mental breakdown or something like that. Here it is. I don't know why it's not. Let me open it. Hold on, stand by. There it is.
Scene 3, Harris County Constable's deputy accused of assaulting 3 nurses. This all happened New Year's Day at a hospital in Baytown. Fox 26's Sherman DeSalle is joining us live in the studio. And Sherman, this was a pretty violent incident.
Violent indeed, according to these court documents. So Sergeant Robert Earl Nobles Jr. is facing 3 felony counts of assault of medical personnel. And when the officers arrived, they say that they spotted Nobles detained on a gurney. And I've read details from all 3 nurses in this case. So on January 1st, around 7:30 in the morning, Baytown PD, they responded to an assault call at Houston Methodist on Garth. Police say the RN they spoke to was in shock when they...
It's a young officer. It looks like he's a sergeant, constable or something, like sergeant. Not sure. But he was in the hospital being treated for something. They don't say, I don't know. We'll keep listening, but I don't know if this dude was on drugs. Did he have a mental breakdown or what happened? But it seems like he just attacked these nurses for no reason.
Got there. Nurse number 1 told police she was waiting on an MRI scan to get completed and noticed the bed alert was going off. And when she went to check on the patient, in this case, the Sergeant Robert Nobles, documents state that he was yelling and screaming at another nurse in his room. And as that nurse left, nurse number 1 describes Nobles' gaze to be distant and detached from the world. And documents say the deputy then charged at the nurse, started punching her in the face, knocking her to the floor. Nurse number 2, who was 26 weeks pregnant, says that when she went to call security, Nobles grabbed a printer from the desk area and struck the pregnant nurse in the head twice. And while she was knocked on the floor on her stomach, the documents state that Nobles grabbed a computer monitor and slammed it on her back. Documents also state as Nobles ran toward the ICU building, a third nurse says he walked towards her calmly, and she started running away from him. She says Nobles punched her in the back of the head and knocked her to the floor. It's a lot.
Wow. Sherman, do you know why that officer was even in the hospital in the first place?
We're not sure. Police say Nobles was not under an emergency detention order. He came into the hospital voluntarily, and there's also apparently surveillance video of the whole thing. The Precinct 3 Constable's office says that Sergeant Nobles has been relieved of duty, and he was placed on administrative leave pending the out.
Well, like I said, it sounds like this. They're going to do MRI, so it must have been something with his head. Does he have a tumor, brain? I mean, well, I don't know what would make somebody snap like that. Did he go crazy all of a sudden? Like I said, was it drugs? I don't know. I'm curious to see this. They've charged him though. He hit a pregnant woman in the head with a printer and then threw another monitor on her back and stuff. Just glad I hope her child's okay. I'm not worried about him as much as I am these nurses. Thank God he didn't kill nobody. So we'll see what happens with that. If dude had a mental, I'm sure that's what they'll claim anyway now. This next one, we're going to Washington, D.C. Like I said, I don't know what's up with some of these law enforcement people at the beginning of this year.
Sergeant Kayla Cruz joined the D.C. Police Department 6 years ago.
This lady right here is accused of a road rage incident, and I don't know if she was on duty. We'll find out. I mean, I know she wasn't in a police car. I think she was in a personal car. Pulling out a gun and waving it at people or something over a road rage incident. You can't do that.
and recently recorded a recruitment video posted to YouTube.
I don't have a desk job. I don't sit behind a computer all day. I am in patrol, so when I hit the streets, it's always something different.
According to a charging document filed in the case, on December 18th, Sergeant Kayla Cruz was on her way to work on westbound Route 50 when the victim says Cruz, who was traveling in front of her, suddenly applied the brakes several times, forcing the victim into another lane. The victim told Maryland State Police as she came alongside the car Cruz was driving, Cruz waved in the air what appeared to be a holstered pistol. The court affidavit says the victim called 911 and gave police the tag number of the car, and a database search confirmed the car belonged to Cruz, and police got a search warrant for her cell phone records. Investigators say those cell phone records placed Cruz on Route 50 at the time of the incident. But the affidavit reveals when police questioned Cruz, she told a detective the other operator terrorized her over an approximately 15-minute time frame, and Cruz denied waving a handgun. The affidavit goes on to say, after additional questioning, Cruz admitted lying to law enforcement earlier in the interview and acknowledged removing the firearm either from a coat pocket or a backpack pocket. The affidavit says Cruz never contacted police to report the incident, and in a search of her car, police say they found a Glock handgun in a bag on the front passenger seat of her car. Kayla Cruz was arrested on New Year's Eve. News 4 reached out to Sergeant Cruz for comment. Online court records do not show a defense attorney named in the case. She's assigned to the 1st District as a patrol sergeant and is now on administrative leave. Paul Wagner, News 4.
All right. One of the main things I always talk about, I always said, don't lie. Don't lie. She lied, and then she told the truth. I mean, that you already lied about it. She just told the truth in the first place. She lied because she knows she shouldn't have done it. They had some back and forth going on between these two, her and this other car, and she got pissed off and pulled a gun out. She just said, yeah. Then her big mistake was she didn't report the incident. As mad as you get at people, you can't just, use your gun as a deterrent. No matter how bad you want to pull it out and point it at somebody or whatever, you can't do it. She knows that. We'll see what happens. She lied. I don't know how they are over there. This is D.C., so, they're kind of woke. So they may send her to anger management or something like that. Personally, no. If she's going to be doing stuff like that, she just needs to go. She needs to go. Yeah, Stacy said she should be fired. Agree with you on that one. So if she's getting that angry over I get pissed off. I just cuss at people in my car with the window rolled up. And the wife always says, I'm all right. Well, you can hear it. I feel better about it. And, nobody got hurt. And I got my issue out the way. So this next one, at least now we're actually going to talk about a criminal. There's one guy who's gotten out of prison. I think it's for murder. He was in prison for murder and got his sentence vacated. And sometimes, you just can't stay away from prison.
Who was released from prison is making headlines again. This time it's because he is in the hospital after being shot and stabbed. His name is Arkel Garcia.
He got shot and stabbed in the situation.
And this is a complicated case with a lot to unpack, including why Garcia was let out of prison in the first place. Garcia was sentenced to life in prison for shooting and killing 21-year-old Christian Macy back in 2013. Police say
this guy got tried and convicted of murder and was doing life. Given life, but he got out.
Before he died, Macy told him a man later identified as Garcia had grabbed his Beats headphones. When Macy tried to take them back, he was shot. Garcia was a teenager at the time. That shooting happened in broad daylight right in front of children playing just feet away. Fast forward to 2021. The Philadelphia District Attorney's Office helped overturn Garcia's conviction after prosecutors determined the police detective on Garcia's case had obtained a false confession while trying to have sexual relationships with 2 key witnesses in Garcia's case. The detective was sent.
Figures. So this so-called detective right here was more worried about getting his Jimmy sucked on than he was and screwed the case up, and a murderer got out of prison because of it, because of stupid shit like that.
2 decades in prison for sexually assaulting witnesses and informants.
Years later, in November 2025, Philadelphia police found a man beaten to death inside his apartment on Stenton Avenue in Logan. His apartment was in disarray, but police didn't find enough evidence to charge anyone with murder. Now we're in 2026, and U.S. Marshals say Arkel Garcia is in custody in the hospital after being shot and stabbed in Philadelphia. We're told he is in critical condition. Investigators say it happened during a domestic dispute where Garcia struggled with a man over a gun. It was after that dispute, authorities say they were able to tie Garcia back to the death of the man in the wheelchair. But there's more. Listen to this. At some point between November of 2025 and today, Garcia was named as a person of interest in a murder case out of Southeast Florida. In that case, the St. Lucie County Sheriff's Office says a man was found dead in his burned home. They also say the victim had been beaten. St. Lucie County Sheriff's Office says it's working with Philadelphia police in their investigation.
So this guy lucked out and got out of prison on a life sentence. Life sentence. I mean, that's like winning the freaking lottery. This dude was going to do life. He's going to die in prison and gets out. Wins the lottery, gets out because it's a dumb cop. But no, can you stay out of prison? No. He's a suspect in another murder, and then he goes and then he shoots this other guy who's found like he's in critical condition. He may die. People like this man right here, is not worth the air he breathes. What do we say? What do you do if a dog has rabies and keeps or a dog is vicious and it keeps biting people? What do they do with it? Oh, they euthanize. They put the dog down because the dog is dangerous. He keeps hurting people. We need to change shit. That when you have people that are doing the same thing, he is dangerous. He's a danger to society. Just put him down. There's no reforming There's no reforming somebody like this. I don't believe in people can be reformed, but they have to want to be reformed. He don't want to. There's a piece of shit right here. And if his mama gave birth to him, she probably just squatted, farted, and he popped out because he's a piece of shit. Oh, well, if they keep letting him out, he's going to keep doing it. So now we're looking at one we know murder, possibly another murder, and then possibly another murder. You can't fix a bad dog. So next one, we're going to a courtroom. Courtroom mayhem. Courtrooms can be fun. Sometimes. This young fella right here, I think he's 21. I think he's 20. He got arrested for murder. He stabbed his girlfriend or ex-girlfriend or something like that. Stabbed her 9 or 10 times or something like that. Killed her. I think in front of a child. I think a child was involved. I think he killed a child, but he murdered her. Then he fought the cops, threatened to kill the cops. I mean, he did all this stuff. We're going to hear about it, and then we're going to listen to what his defense attorney is trying to say. This is like an arraignment or a bond hearing or something.
All right, the public defender is appointed. Bail commissioner's recommendation. Your Honor. I will indicate, first of all, I did.
You know, it's never good when you're in the courtroom and you see 1, 2, 3, 4. You see this many cops up there. That's usually because you got family there that's pissed off. It's usually never a good thing when you see that many cops in there.
It's an on-site risk. I did read through the report, and I will clearly make a finding of probable cause for the crimes, including the crime of murder. But go ahead. Your Honor, he has no criminal history. He is 21 years old. He is a lifelong resident. He reports that he is gainfully employed.
He has no criminal history. He's gainfully employed. He's this and that. Okay. He killed somebody.
He did not. He does report substance abuse and mental health issues.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. He admits he uses drugs, substance abuse, and now, of course, we got to throw that mental illness in there. They all have mental illness.
I do understand that he has no record. However, due to the nature of allegations, we will be recommending $1 million. How much? $1 million. Thank you. State.
Your Honor, in this incident, the defendant is charged with murder. The defendant called police, said that he had stabbed the victim. He further said that it was a couple of times. When officers arrived, he refused to open the door and threatened the officers that he would stab them if they entered. There was a 3-year-old child present for this incident.
So there's a 3-year-old child that saw their mother get murdered?
The defendant fought with officers, and the victim suffered 9 deep puncture wounds. He only safely said
This doesn't involve in it yet. I don't know how y'all feel about it or anything, but y'all see this right here. Y'all see this cop, this marshal. You see this? You see his hair? To me, that's the most unprofessional shit ever. This right here. That Crown Act bullshit. I've worked, where I worked at a department before. They had in the policy, your hair couldn't even be over half an inch thick on top of your head and stuff like that. You know this when you get the job. This right here does not look professional. That's my opinion. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the chat over there.
Counsel?
Thank you, Your Honor. As stated by Bill, Mr. Black is 21 years old, grew up in Hamden, Connecticut. He's been a native of our state his entire life. He attended school, graduated from ACES, and as stated, he has no criminal record. Your Honor, Mr. Black is truly a product of his environment, his upbringing, his background.
Here we go. Here we go with the fucking excuses. This piece of shit over here is crying after he stabbed this woman in front of a 3-year-old, stabbed her 9 times, killed her. Probably for something fucking stupid. He's sitting here now. Here comes his little tears. Now, this public defender over here, I don't know how sometimes I don't know how they do their job. I couldn't do it. He's a product of his environment. Here we go with the excuses. I know a lot of people that grew up poor and all that stuff like that and end up being some damn good people. This is nothing but fucking excuses.
Consists mostly of depending on state benefits, grew up in foster care.
What? Grew up, depending on state benefits. Motherfucking people on EBT, SNAP, whatever the fuck you want to call it, food stamps, they eat better than I do. They eating steaks and all kind of shit. They eat better than I do. Because I have to pay for my food out of my own pocket. I just don't get hundreds of dollars to go to the store with and just buy food with. I actually have to pay for it with money I earned. So I don't want to hear that excuse either.
Multiple ineffective DCF involvements, lack of guidance and support led.
Like I said, you hear all the excuses, lack of guidance and support. DCFS involvement. It's everybody else's fault, except for the person that was stabbing this woman to death.
Mr. Black down the trail of mental health issues. He has multiple diagnoses, including PTSD.
What the fuck can this 20-year-old have post-traumatic stress from? What has he done in his life to have any post-traumatic stress? He ain't get a new pair of Jordans for Christmas? The fuck? I get so sick of it. Just excuses.
Multiple stays at inpatient services, outpatient services, and many prior suicide attempts. Even though through all this turmoil in his life, he was trying. Prior to this incident, he was working part-time in Wallingford as a flagger.
Gainfully employed. It was a part-time flagger job. It's not even full-time. That's not gainfully.
He had recently completed programs and treatment and was doing well. Mr. Black was also extremely remorseful for this incident.
But the fuck he is. He killed somebody. Because he's, I don't know, in this state, wherever they're at, they got the death penalty and out. But I get it, but he is. He's at least looking at a minimum of life.
We ask that you take that into consideration when setting the bond for Mr. Black.
Well, he is 21 years of age. I guess he does not have any previous record, is that correct?
No, Your Honor.
I mean, obviously, I read through the report. It is, I know he's emotional right now, but it's a very disturbing report to read when people are calling the police indicating someone is screaming and asking or requesting help, and then he called actually the police and indicated, quote, I just stabbed my bitch, close quote.
I just stabbed my bitch. Poor thing. Yeah, Casper says, fuck your tears. Grew up poor. You know, how many dudes and don'ts? I mean, he's old enough to know, oh, he had this. Everything was a fucking excuse. I agree with Emily. He knew exactly what he was doing. Yeah, I guarantee he probably don't even know who that is. Mama probably don't either. But still not an excuse. You can still decide to pull yourself up by your bootstraps and do better. But everybody that goes to court for these big felonies like this, if you ever notice, they all have mental problems. All of them have mental problems. It's just a standardized excuse.
The police were able to get the child, I guess, out through a window, the 3-year-old. We finally let the police in, according to the report. And I believe the defendant, even down at the station, did not disagree. She was calling the police because he had made an oral threat. And as a result of her attempting to call the police is when he admits that he took out a knife and he did stab her. It does indicate.
Ask all this right here. Look right here. Does anything in this man's face, anything in his eyes right here, does any of that look like remorse, sadness, regret? I don't know. Not to me. To me, it looks like contempt. Like, gotta look like he wants to kill the judge or something. Look at this man's face. There ain't nothing here says I'm sorry for what I did. Look at it.
It does indicate, as the state said, that it looks like there was a number of numerous wounds on the victim. The victim was alive when the police were there, but obviously she succumbed to these injuries. Also sounds like they had a prior relationship some time ago, and there was some attempt over the last few weeks, according to the defendant, to rekindle it. It certainly calls for a serious bond, a domestic homicide of someone. I'll set the bond at $2.5 million at this particular time. It's going to be transferred over to Part A. After the serious cases go through 35 Church Street, I'm going to transfer it over there for January 14th. The bond is set without prejudice. Certainly, if you're going to get a public defender over there, they would have the right to argue the bond again over there. But January 14th.
He got something on his mind. Look at him. You see how he's looking at that cop? Because this cop right here is holding on tight. He's got a grip on this motherfucker. Look at his face again. He's already thinking about fighting. Look at it. You can see him. He was loosening his neck up and that shit like that. His whole body language say he's about to do something.
January 14th will be the next date at 235 Church Street. All right, thank you.
Yeah, your brother's gonna die out in the field.
when the cops have to control the situation. Some of the family members went to attack him, which you can't do it, but do I blame them? Oh, hell no. I don't know how I'd be in that situation. I mean, they probably wouldn't allow me in the courtroom, period. I can't blame them. This piece of shit killed their daughter in front of it. Jerry, you can't tell you that many people. But can you blame them? How would you act, Jerry, if that you were sitting there looking at the dude that just killed your daughter or your niece or something like that? So, I mean, I can't blame these people. I hate being in these situations. I've been in courtrooms before where families have gotten crazy and stuff like that, and it can just be pandemonium. But I can't. I don't. I mean, you can't. You got to keep order, but I don't blame them. I can imagine the emotions going through these people. And like I said, y'all saw the looks on this dude's face. Like I said, there's no remorse in him. He could care less. Yeah, you would. Exactly. Jerry said I do what he do, get in a cell with him. But I can't blame those people whatsoever. So hopefully whatever state this is in, they have the death penalty. But even if he gets the death penalty, it'll still be 30 years. We know how that goes. Kelly, like I said, it's... So let's hope at least he gets. Of course, they'll probably try to plead him. They're going to try to plead his insanity. I'm telling you, watch. They always try to plead insanity. This one, we're going. I think this might have been in Florida. They had these little couple, boyfriend and girlfriend, attacked this. Got this guy to come to their house and then attacked them with an axe, and just sick people.
WESH 2 first broke last week. A man accused of orchestrating an axe attack in Orange County remains in jail tonight.
Detectives say Nicholas Lavallee and Anna Marie Askell lured a man to their apartment for the ambush.
WESH 2's Bob Hazen was in court and reports that Lavallee was apparently upset that the victim made fun of him.
Investigators say Nicholas Lavallee claimed that he only wanted to fight the victim, even though he pointed a gun at him. And today, the judge here ruled that he's too dangerous.
Usually when you point a gun at somebody, it's not say, I don't want to point this gun at you, but I just want to fight you. It's usually not how it works.
To allow out of jail. 20-year-old Nicholas Lavallee sat in court the words, "Trust your struggle," tattooed on his neck. This hearing came after prosecutors asked the judge to keep him in jail.
This defendant decided to set up the victim.
Lavallee and his wife, Anne Marie Askell, are both facing charges.
Got that septum ring. Look at this motherfucker. I mean, what the... He tried to kill somebody. Look at him there. Looks like some fucking dork or something, too. Guess he's trying to prove that he was hard.
For the attack at the University Park Apartments in East Orange County. That victim showed WESH 2 his injuries after being hit with an axe and stabbed.
I get hit with the axe in the back of my head right here. He said something about shooting me. And
He's lucky it must have been a dull axe. So he got hit in the head with an axe, got stabbed, and you can see all the other marks and bruises all over him. This dude better count his lucky stars to go buy a fucking lottery ticket.
Remember, at that point, it was fight or flight.
The victim apparently knew Askell through Instagram, and today a detective testified they exchanged some flirty messages. And Lavallee really didn't like that the victim made fun of him in those messages.
Some of the messages, he would see that the victim was being disrespectful to Nick.
Yeah, he's being disrespectful, dude. Did you look in the mirror at yourself? I mean, you're funny looking, okay?
I think the word he said, he called him a goofy.
So the couple allegedly sent messages pretending that Askell was inviting him over. She was in lingerie when he arrived, but investigators say Lavallee popped out with a gun. The victim ran before being attacked by two other unidentified men armed with a knife and an axe. His defense claimed it was supposed to be just a fight. Prosecutors said he's a danger to the public.
And this wasn't just a plan to fight this person, but he had alternate plans. That is why he provided his friend with the axe, and he came out with his firearm.
He ain't even going to fight the dude by himself. He brought him and a couple of friends with him, too. But I guess when you look like Poindexter.
The judge agreed with prosecutors and ordered LaValle to be held in jail until he goes on trial. Covering Orange County in Orlando, Bob Hazen, WESH 2 News.
Deputies are still searching for 2 other men the victim says attacked him. If you know anything, call the Orange County Sheriff's.
I guess he's not going to say who he had with him. I'm pretty sure once he goes to big boy jail, not just county, I'm sure he looks like he's going to be somebody's bitch. He better accept his struggle. The struggle's going to be keeping a grip in his butthole. That's what his struggle's going to be, because he's going to lose all the grip in that thing. He's going to sneeze hard after that happens to him and shit himself probably. This next one, we're going to go look at a gas station shooting real quick. Because we like gas station shootings.
The gas station in Miramar.
One person was killed in that gunfire. 2 were
This is
injured,
in
including
Florida.
an innocent bystander. Our local 10's Haley Sheeby is live at that scene.
She has reaction from the witnesses who were there.
We now have surveillance.
The old dude just walked right behind her. Did y'all see that? It's like, I mean, like close too. He didn't even try to go around me. Like, I thought he was like going to run into her.
She has reaction from the witnesses who were there.
We now have surveillance video from this gas station showing the moments leading up to this shooting. You're going to see 3 men shaking hands, having a conversation, and quickly it turns violent and shots are fired. This surveillance video paints a clear picture of what happened last night at the Sunoco gas station near DeSoto Boulevard and Pembroke Road in Miramar. These 3 men start chatting. An altercation breaks out. Seconds later, 2 of them pull out.
Looks like this guy, during the conversation, if y'all look right here, this guy in the middle, looks like he reaches and tries to like rob this guy or something. And he must reach in there and grab a gun or something. That's when the shoots are. But it looks like this guy, it was probably a drug deal or something. But it looks like this one guy tried to jack that one guy. I could be wrong, but y'all watch it.
An altercation breaks out. Seconds later, 2 of them pull out guns and start firing. Another angle shows that same exchange of gunfire from a different view. Right next to the gas station is a convenience store. This man you see here was fixing his car. He had nothing to do with the altercation. When shots rang out, a stray bullet struck him in the leg. You see him here limping away in pain. In total,
That's how it usually goes, right? Bystander gets shot. This guy was in a whole different parking lot. Catches a bullet in the leg. Mind his own business, trying to fix his old broke down truck.
3 people were shot. This morning, the store owner cleaned up the blood from the innocent bystander.
He tried to fix his car, and one bullet come processed it. He have this bullet. I feel very, very bad, because those customer is very good guy. Very good guy.
The spokesperson for Miramar Police says 19-year-old Christian Correa did not survive the gunshot wounds he suffered.
There's a 4th individual who we believe that can assist us in the investigation, who's also in the discussion, in the altercation.
That 4th person ran off before officers arrived.
Oh, right here. That's him.
Officers are now searching for him. It's the man seen here in a gray hoodie.
This is the guy. Yeah.
K-9 units last night were brought in as part of that search. And just moments ago, we spoke to the mother of Christian Correa. She says he was about to be a father later this year. He worked at a hospital, and he was a great man. Take a listen.
They also took my best friend because I had him so young. So it's like I grew up with this child. And
Do I have to say it? Do I have to say it? No, I don't have to. Never mind. I have to say it. Audio listeners, yeah, she's got septum ring, another ring, tattoo on her neck. Yeah. He's a great guy. He's a great guy. Okay. Just because somebody done made a baby and stuff like that don't make whatever.
He was not just my best friend, he's my son. You know, so it's hard, and
Maybe if you'd have raised him up as your son and not your friend, maybe he wouldn't have been in the situation he was.
don't have
The fuck? Y'all see how much metal she got in her mouth? She's got all these like 2 or 3 tongue rings or something like that. I mean, she looks like a catfish that done popped the bait. Look there. Look, y'all seen that? Look right there. Look, I mean, what the fuck? I mean, that's just ridiculous.
he was not just my best friend, he's my son. You know, so it's hard, and I don't have the proper words to, and I really don't want no mother to ever go through this.
Her full interview with us is coming up later this afternoon, starting at 3. If you have any information about this case, Miramar police officers and detectives need your help, please call 911 or the Miramar Police Department.
No, the guy that got shot in the leg's not the one that's dead. I think it's one of the other ones that was there is dead, and another one shot, and one ran off. So no, I think the good guy got shot and died. You know, according to the mom. Don't be in them situations. You know, if I'm driving around and I see a place in my area, or if I know the place is kind of sketchy, I'm not going to stop and get gas over there. Just not going to do it. Like I said, I guarantee it's probably a drug deal or something went wrong. So, but he is a good guy because he was having a baby on the way, who he probably wasn't going to support. It's my guess. This last story. Okay, y'all. This last story, we're Amazon. Whoever knew Amazon delivery could be so dangerous?
Who's been following a story where an Amazon driver was shot while trying to deliver holiday packages. Doug, just a horrible situation.
Yeah, the driver, let's be clear, the driver wasn't shot, Ariel.
I think the news reporter were messing up his fishing or something, because I don't know why he's out by a pond. But what if he's fishing?
He was shot at while trying to make a delivery in the town of Moreland in Coweta County. And I didn't know this, but I guess Amazon can make deliveries as early as 4:45.
I've had Amazon show up at my house at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning one time, making a delivery. So yes, they do. So.
Morning, and that's what happened just before the holidays. This driver was trying to make a delivery, she told authorities, and she saw some dogs in the yard and said, no way, not going in that yard. And so she was beginning to mark the package undeliverable when she heard shouting from the front porch of the home, and she's parked out on the street, according to the Coweta County Sheriff's Office. And so before she knows it, there are 3 shots that ring out. And she gets out and she says, Amazon delivery, Amazon delivery. And then the guy shoots 3 more times. So deputies did respond. They talked to the Amazon driver. They talked to the homeowner there. And they arrested the homeowner for reckless conduct. Now, he says, and his name is Timothy Allen Bradley, and this happened on...
This dude's a dipshit. First of all, you make sure what you're shooting at. You just can't come outside and start shooting at shit. It wasn't even they fucking dipshit. I think he was shooting in the air, but you just can't do that. You can't be just firing off warning shots.
Levi Bradbury Road in Moreland. Bradley tells authorities that, you know, he saw these headlights out there at 4:45 in the morning. They were shining light into his grandfather's bedroom, and he went out to get them to leave because they've had trespassers on their property. And he shouted
Can't
something,
shoot at
didn't get a
trespassers.
response, so he fired 3 times. And then, I guess, fired an additional 3 shots. And deputies warned him, hey, listen, if you have any problems like this, In the future, you don't know who's out there, you're concerned, call 911 and we'll come out and handle it. And that's their advice to people today. Anytime you
Little common
something
sense.
or have some concern or there's a suspicious person, suspicious vehicle out there, they tell you to call 911 and let them handle it. So the homeowner there, Ariel, facing charges today for reckless conduct for the shooting at this Amazon driver.
Doug, thanks so much for that clarification and making the story make sense. You know, I can't imagine you're trying to deliver packages. You're trying.
Yeah, that dude's a fucking idiot. Come on. I've had people come up my driveway. I don't know who they are. Had a gun on me. I didn't pull it out and point it at them or nothing like that. I'm at very, I was armed. You just don't come outside and just start blasting. Yeah. They need to take it from him. That whole "I'll shoot your eye out" thing. I mean, he's lucky he didn't get charged with aggravated battery, assault, or attempted murder or some shit like that. And he just got some bullshit charge like that. I think this was in Georgia. So this is my hot nut also. We got Jibo said that's his hot nut. So who do y'all want? We got the Amazon guy who's got 2 votes now for hot nut. We have, I'm going to say, also the Connecticut police chief who's stealing money. The D.C. sergeant that was waving her gun in the road rage incident. And the dumbass that won the lottery and got out of prison on a life sentence and now is on his way back for it. Those are your options of hot nut for tonight. Stacy said, sounds like a job opening's coming up, Roy. I don't think Roy wants to work for Amazon delivery. At least Christmas is over. Everybody have a good Christmas and a good New Year. Did y'all make any New Year's resolutions? Jared says the dumbass lifer's getting his vote. I didn't make no resolutions this year. I'm thinking about, y'all tell me what y'all think. I'm thinking about trying to do some like little short videos, put them out on YouTube, maybe Rumble, like just doing reactionary stuff to some body cam videos and stuff like that. I'm not going to do them live. I'm just going to like do a video and put them out. I don't know if y'all watch my stuff when I'm not live or not. So I'm thinking about trying to do that a little bit too. Just throw a little extra out there doing something. I don't feel like I'm doing enough. What y'all think? Yeah, nobody made no New Year's resolution. Hey, I used to make them and they didn't last very long. Resolution to quit swearing. I'm trying not to cuss quite so much, but it's just in my vocabulary. I can't help myself sometimes. It just pops out. Well, it looks like the ding dong of the Amazon shooter is going to get the hot nut for tonight because he is pretty stupid. We find the music for it. Here it is. All them police chiefs make quite a bit of money, except for these little Hicktown ones, Stacy. I said I was going to try Casper. I didn't say it was going to work. Me trying and doing is 2 different things. William says Roy's resolution is to better times with his dates. He just wants a better time, period. Roy wants a date that don't involve his hand. That's what he wants. He don't want his hand. So that's going to be it for this evening. Hope y'all enjoyed yourself. It's been a long time. Well, the New Year's Eve when I was here by myself too. Don't try real hard. It usually don't work. hope this ain't gonna be the trend, because I do miss my co-host going back and forth with them. Y'all be safe. Oh, if y'all get a chance, go check out the Roll Call Room podcast. It's on YouTube. The second one came out. They got two 30-minute episodes. I was a guest on their podcast twice for the last two. If y'all want to go check them out, go check them out also. So, everybody, I appreciate y'all coming. I enjoy myself. Hope y'all enjoyed yourselves. And just y'all, the reason I do it, just remember that. Stay safe. Watch your back. Watch your partner's back. Remember, we ain't no fucking sheepdogs. We're lions. Peace.
Hope y'all were entertained at your laughs. If you were offended, fuck off. The crew hopes to see you back next week. Same time, same place, bring a friend to fold. We are the lions, kings of the jungle. We don't take no shit. Were you offended by the podcast? Too much cursing, not PC enough. Well, fuck your